Tonight, we've got three major new developments in the mysterious death of Nolan Wells. First up, witnesses reportedly told investigators Wells had been drinking heavily with friends on Horn Island before he disappeared. That's according to a document with preliminary information from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It was obtained by ABC News. Second, Nolan's friends have long said that he chose to remain on Horn Island after their boat left. Remember, he was talking to a young girl, one young lady. Well, now, TMZ reports that sources with direct knowledge of the investigation say that at least two witnesses told law enforcement they saw Nolan on the island after that boat departed. Now, we haven't independently verified those claims. Authorities have not publicly confirmed them, but you can see why it's significant. Third, we played brief excerpts of this distress call that were made from the boat on the show before, but now there is a longer version of the recording that has been released by the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. It was aired by multiple local news outlets. In the call, a teen tells a sea tow dispatcher that the boat's bilge pump has failed, that the boat is sinking. And throughout the call, you can hear this commotion and multiple voices in the background. TMZ then took that same recording and enhanced the audio. The outlet says that some people believe that when you hear this or when you listen to it, they can hear, "Is he dead?" along with other phrases, including "Nolan, check his chest, wake up." So we want to play you clips from both versions. First, here's the original recording.
Detail assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description?
Okay, now here's TMZ's enhanced version of that same recording.
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our village pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can you all please come? We have a membership. Shut the fuck up!
So what exactly did we just hear? I want to go to Robert Freed.
So my thoughts for the Nolan Wells case, as I was sitting here in prayer, talking to God, getting the wisdom of God. I'm not going to let Martin Luther King Jr. legacy be in vain. The truth of the matter is, if Nolan Wells had not went on that boat, on that trip, he would have still been alive. If Ben Trump is a real true attorney, he would take it before the court, take it before the grand jury, weigh all the evidence with the judge, and imprison the friends of color, because the friends of color has something to, the friends that were not of color has something to do with it, and that's the reason why Nolan Wells is not here today. And so we have to speak up and demand justice and hunger and thirst after righteousness. We have to hunger and thirst after righteousness. And Ben Crump, if you was a real attorney, you would have took it before the grand jury so that the judge can weigh all the evidence, just like they did with Julio Fulio, just like they did with Don Julio. They weighed all the evidence and they found that the murderers that unalive Julio Fulio was found guilty. Nolan Wells, I love, my prayers and heart is going out to Nolan Wells' family for this civil, it is a civil injustice matter, but at the end of the day, Ben Crump needs to take this before the grand jury, take it before the court, and take it before the judge so that they can weigh all the evidence and find Nolan Wells' friends guilty for him being unalive. For Nolan Wells being unalive, I'm not letting Martin Luther King Jr. legacy be in vain. Martin Luther King Jr. would have wanted and demanded justice for this. And so again, they need to imprison. God said that they need to imprison the Caucasian friends, because you didn't love him enough to keep him safe and be a real true friend. Because why? Because the Caucasian friends are enemies of Israel. They come from the Edom bloodline of the Edomites. They enemies of us as Israel. With the Nolan Wells case, I listened to the call of the Caucasian friends calling Nolan Wells. Calling the dispatcher 911, and they let his friend drown on the boat trip of the island. And so parents, you're going to be held accountable. I hope Nolan Wells' mother see this. Parents, you're going to be held accountable for allowing y'all child to be on social media, for allowing y'all child to have these wicked devices, social media technology, and going to making and allowing them to go to trips and stuff that they don't have no business going on. Because the truth of the matter is, had he not went on a trip, he would have still been alive today. Police, you need to imprison the Caucasian friends, because they was enemies. They're enemies of Nolan Wells. They enemies of Nolan Wells. They enemies of Nolan Wells because of the bloodline of Israel and Edom and the Edomites. And so if you want the truth, take it before the grand jury, Ben Crump. Ben Crump, take it before the grand jury. And take it before the court, and take it before the judge in the natural, because America, they try to force Americans to go to jury duty. So take it before. If you're a real attorney, that's what you're supposed to be legalized to do. I love God bless, and I love the family of Nolan Wells, but take it before the grand jury so we can get the justice of the truth of the Martin Luther King Jr. legacy, because I'm not letting Martin Luther King Jr. legacy be in vain. So we not finna be silent, and we finna get justice for Nolan Wells. And again, if you're a criminal, you can't get away. So this is what God is saying concerning Nolan Wells.